The Fall Classic has officially ended, and the 2023 MLB season has come to a close. My name is Kasabi from Showzone, and we're almost officially at the last set and season for MLB The Show 23. There is a set 6 that will be coming out, but likely no cards or very few cards will be released in that set. So this is essentially the last content that we'll see as a part of MLB The Show 23. This will also be the last season where you'll really need to question who would plug in as a wild card, since set 6 will bring all of the cards from previous sets into the fold. Honestly, with wild cards, there aren't too many options that I think are viable. We're going to be going over some of those options in this video, but just with the way sets and seasons has been in MLB The Show 23, usually when a card goes out of a set or season, it's reintroduced via a different type of card or a different type of series. So as you'll see in a moment here, not too many choices to go around. This right here is a list of the top meta overall scores from sets 1 through 3, which are all of the sets that are currently out of season. And you got some good names there, a lot of chase pack rewards, some other set collections. And towards the middle of the content cycle, we started to see some team affinity rewards that are also a part of this list. And as you'll see here, this is the same top 20 list, but with a highlight for which players have a current set or season of a comparable 99 overall diamond. So it might be a few points of a difference between those two cards. The difference is negligible at most. That really eliminates a lot of choices. That's about half of this list where they have another version of that player in the current set or season. So wildcards are just really hard to choose for that reason. Every time that you think a player is going to be out of the meta, they're just brought right back in with a similar value diamond in most cases. And I will say there's a few cards where it might be worth just plugging in as a wild card instead of grinding for the new version. So case in point would be Adley Rutschman. You can get the new 23 finest Adley Rutschman in ranked, which takes a lot of innings to play. You could just almost skip the entire grind completely for Adley Rutschman in ranked, or you could just go for a different card. But let's take a look at the set 5 meta scores. And honestly, catcher has one of the highest ranked of some of those meta scores. So the finest Cal Raleigh, for example, has the second highest meta score in set 5 across any players. So even if you have like a Kaiju, Joe Mauer, or the Adley Rutschman from the 2023 All-Star Game, Cal Raleigh is relatively easy to get. In addition to getting him on the XP reward path in Season 5, which just takes some time to play, you can also get the new Milestone Ronald Acuna card, which is comparable to his All-Star Game cards. That's another one that's kind of tossed out of the wild card situation. But as we give a look to the starting rotation in the bullpen, there's just a lot of strong options where a wild card wouldn't make sense, first of all, with all the stamina that you'd have to rest that player with from pitching in between appearances. But again, the difference is not that much. Really, the only two pitchers that I'd recommend picking as a wild card would be the Chase Pack reward Jacob deGrom, who is one of the top rated starting pitchers, and the Billy Wagner incognito card if you happen to complete the extreme program. Just his meta overall plus him being a lefty is very valuable. Really though, when it comes to wild cards, a lot of your best choices are going to be players that were in previous chase packs. So that would include Mickey Mantle's incognito card, the Jacob deGrom that I just mentioned, and then the Kaiju Joe Mauer. These would both be because of their meta overall scores, but also just due to the other options in set 4 and set 5. Now, center fields, you do have a lot of options, like I said, with Acuna and Trout. Mantle will also give you that burst of speed and decent power at the plate, some switch hitting ability. We've been talking a lot about him in the previous wildcard videos, so if you can get Mickey Mantle, definitely put him in the outfield with Acuna and Trout. That would be your top 3 outfielders right there. In the rotation, Jacob deGrom throws hard and has some great per nines. He's really tough to hit with his pitch mix, so he would be the best starter available. And Kaiju Joe Mauer, he's the best rated card still in the game for MLB The Show 23, despite all of these milestone cards that have been coming out. The catcher position is rated a little bit higher just due to its valuable offensive and defensive metrics. And this Mauer also has a decent amount of speed that a lot of catchers don't tend to have. Mauer would be at the bottom of this list just purely because there are some other catchers available. Like I said, you can get Adley Rutschman, you could get the Cal Raleigh card. The Raleigh card's going to be very cheap considering. Beyond that, Billy Wagner would be the other pitcher that I'd consider. Best reliever in the game via the extreme program and gives you that good lefty arm out of the bullpen. And after that, it really drops off. You can do Chipper Jones at third base or shortstop. Babe Ruth with some 125s across the board if you still have him from the set 1 collection. or Hank Aaron is still the 5th best outfielder in the game. He's going to have a little bit less speed than the likes of Trout, Mantle, and Acuna, but he's very versatile. You can put him at any outfield position, and his hitting stats are very good as well. However, with Chipper Jones, there are a lot of strong infield options available in set 4 and 5. So just from set 5 alone, you have Ellie De La Cruz's finest card, the Gary Sheffield retro finest card, and then going back to set 4, there's Mookie Betts. Jimmy Fox can play third base. He's very versatile. You can plug him in at catcher, third base, or first base. So again, that's going to do it for the wild cards this year, since set 6 will be going back to all of the cards being in play. I'd really like San Diego Studio to implement some better wildcard prerogatives going forward next year. Maybe one batter and one pitcher, so you don't have to worry about, deciding what you want to use. Because a lot of people are going to go with the batter as opposed to a pitcher, just because the pitcher has to sit and rest for so long, especially if somebody quits out of a ranked game so quickly. But a lot of the players and legends that have had 99s across multiple sets and seasons don't really make for the wildcard to be used effectively. As soon as somebody's out of the meta, like a Randy Johnson earlier in the year, he just comes right back with a chase reward. So Randy Johnson ends up being in the meta all year long, whether you have a wild card or not. So I think the solve for this going forward would just be to have the player base be a bit more okay with players only being in the meta for so long, or there's going to be a very big need for adding a lot more lower tier legends next year who might get like a spiked 99 overall card, even if they don't really have that in their career repertoire. But, you just need more 92 and like 99 mixes. A lot of these higher tier cards that continually get 97, 99 overall cards, it just makes for a stale meta after a while, and really just kind of makes the wild cards option a bit more of a defunct one. If you guys have any thoughts on the wild card, let us know in the comments section if you think it should be tweaked for next year, or if it's just the reusage of some of the legends that's just making it impossible. We'd love to know your thoughts and get some good feedback on next year if the sets and seasons do return. But that's going to do it for now. This is Kasabi signing off. We'll see you next time.